What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. In today's video, we're doing a account takeover for CrowndRoyal here. He reached out to me and he definitely needs some massive help on his account. He's actually been playing Raid since 2020. You can kind of see here he's only level 87. He's a very casual player, light spender, nothing crazy or anything like that. I went through his account quickly just to see his progression level. Definitely very early mid game, I would say. And yeah, he's looking to basically bring up his account up to its full potential. Now, if you guys are interested in takeover services, make sure you guys reach out to me in my Discord through my DMs. I do one free takeover every month through my Discord. There's a channel specifically for applications. And if you guys are looking for paid service, definitely send me a DM and we can discuss there. With that out of the way, if you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out. Without further ado, let's jump into this account here. So we got CrowndRoyal. Like I said, he's been playing since 2020. And his account looks very stalled out, very early game, early mid game maybe. He's got a pretty developed Great Hall for a early game, but definitely not a very developed Great Hall for a 6-year-old player. Let's check out his stash of shards here. He's got a little bit of shards, nothing too crazy. Like I said, he's a light spender. I'm not sure exactly what he spends money on. I think a little mix of everything, nothing too crazy. Not too much material here in the forge. Let's just double check all his stuff here. Maybe he's been crafting. That's why he has nothing left. Yes, he has been crafting it all. That's good to see. That means he's just, been vigilant on that. It is midweek. And he's done about 25 battles. So definitely slacking off big time with the arena. Like I said, I usually expect 200 battles per week from most people that are grinding pretty actively. So yeah, 25 midweek is definitely very low. Let's check out his tavern here. Got a couple hundred brews here or there. Not many chickens, and he's got 9 books, enough for 1 champion, which is okay. Quickly check out his other areas here. His soulstone altar. He's got a bunch of small ones. That's good to see. He must be saving them up for something. And he's got 5,000 gems. He has very little silver, basically none. Definitely don't like seeing that. Let's check out his box here real quick. Let's see what he's working with, what he's packing. He's got Deliana. He's got Deliana here with 200 accuracy. She is full, not fully booked, partially booked with War Master. So full master, partially booked. Aidlin here. Got accuracy, 200 speed. What is she rocking here? Fully booked. Ward of the Fallen. Interesting. That means she has to kill somebody to get the full effect of this. And not mastered. So a little bit here and there. He-Man. So you pay for the He-Man pass. Let's see. You got a Savage set on. That's great. 200 speed, crit cap, crit damage. That's good. Looks like a good build. This looks like a solid build. Not sure about Holy Grail. He's probably just using it for the extra attack here. Fully booked, good to see. 5-star Crushing Ren's probably not ideal. Keep in mind that only the first 2 hits of each round you're getting any benefit from Crushing Ren, so that might not be what you want. You probably want to use something like Reaper or something for some consistent damage, or you can use something like Heaven Cast. Heaven Cast, basically benefits E-Man, I guess, doubly because he does get a big bonus here for each buff on him, so you'll be stacking buffs on him anyways. So something like Heaven Cast is pretty solid. Mastery set looks pretty good. So He-Man so far looks solid. After that, we got Emic here, 250 speed. Yeah, looks like a serviceable build. No masteries, looks serviceable, so no complaints there. UDK in a mixed set with full crit rate, super slow, no accuracy, running Brimstone. Yeah, that's not going to work. You need accuracy to land Brimstone, so that seems like a waste. He got War Master on, so it requires him to hit. And since he has no speed, he's not going to be doing much hitting. So this build is total dumpster tier. Oh, he's got Taros. That's really nice. He's in regen. Bit of a waste, to be honest. Wasting a Taros here. 165 speed. This is a nothing burger build. Yeah, definitely a big waste of a build here for a Taros. Got Helm Smasher in a Arena Nuker set mastery here. So yeah, Taros needs to be fully rebuilt. We got Artak here. Depending what he's using Artak for, he's got a couple builds. Usually the main build for him is some kind of regeneration build. Brimstone with 250 accuracy. Depends where he's using him. War Master, I guess. He's got Spirit Haste on, so that means it must be some kind of solo build perhaps. It's kind of hard to solo without regen. Newt, Swift Parry. He's got a shield ring, that's fine. He's got damage. Relic, Reaper is fine. Giant Slayer is fine, and everything looks fine. A little bit slow, but crit capped, decent crit damage, and decent accuracy for some content. Seal the Drakes in Relentless. A little bit slow, a little bit low on accuracy, but serviceable. Looks serviceable. Soul Reap is kind of that's a little bit of a strange one. I wouldn't put Soul Reap on her, that's for sure. Maybe Brimstone, maybe Cruelty or something would work. Alexander, this build is a nothing burger. Relentless build with no speed, no accuracy. Wukong not built. Nothing build, nothing build. Mithrala, 200 speed. Have you guys ever seen a Mithrala with so little accuracy? So little accuracy. Even with her passive, she basically doesn't have enough resistance for most content. She does have books and masteries. So she is definitely someone that I would look to build out. Especially for an account like this, you only have 9 legendary books, so we have to be very considerate about how we want to use those books, if we want to use those books. So we want to use champions that were already booked out, already mastered out, so we can save resources. So Mithrala comes to mind here as someone that we probably should, build properly to use. Visix in Relentless, too slow, 172 speed. Too slow for a support champion. You want her to be a little bit faster. Accuracy looks okay. She is booked, so that's a good sign. And mostly mastered. I mean, definitely usable. He wants a bit of a refresh on some Hydra teams, so Visix would be a big champion for that area, so I'll definitely look into building her out. Fortis, not going to be somebody that I'm going to dabble with on an account with limited resources. Coronar, same kind of situation. This build's kind of nothing, maybe for faction wars. Whirlim, same kind of thing. Now Arbiter here, let's have a look. 233 speed. This is a pretty horrendous speed. Arbiter fully booked with masteries. Yeah, definitely somebody we can look into investing in. Arbiter is definitely going to be really good. I mean, as far as speed booster goes, she's the only one on this list so far. So yeah, definitely somebody that we need to invest in. Warlord in a bolster, not quite a bolster, 3/4 of a bolster set, and just the worst Warlord build I've ever seen. 122 speed with no accuracy. He's not fully booked, and he's fully mastered. I hate seeing this. I hate seeing the books. I hate seeing the commitment to the masteries and then no commitment to the books. I hate that. Warlord definitely needs the he needs the books to fully lock down the enemy. It really depends where you want to use the Warlord, right? Like if you're not a big arena person, Warlord's not going to be so huge, but Warlord's still a pretty huge champion when you're running into waves and stuff. And so far in this whole list of champions, Warlord's the only real crowd control champion he has. He doesn't have Armans or Fabian like that. So I would probably lean into Warlord here to help you get through some wave content. Let's check out this Pythion. Oh my lord, 121 speed with 380 resistance. He is fully booked and fully mastered. I mean, this build is a total waste on Pythion. We can definitely rebuild him so you can utilize him. So yeah, he's definitely going to be somebody that we look into. Drexar, fully booked, fully mastered, with a build that is absolute nothing. He needs accuracy to line his HP burn. He has no speed. These are, just horrendous builds. He's usable. I mean, you should be using him, right? You don't need to fully book Drexar. That's the best thing about Drexar. He's really, really good without books. And, if you're not using him, you shouldn't master him. You shouldn't book him out. So I don't know if you're using him in this build, but this build's not working. So we're going to rebuild a lot of these champions. We're going to bring this account to its full potential. But yeah, we got to make sure we're working with pieces here that make sense. We got a bolster set on by Stophus with no speed, no damage, no accuracy, no books, but fully mastered. I hate seeing that, man. Hate seeing that. It's just a bunch of wasted resources. Yeah. Let's see. Elva here, very good champion, but this is a horrible build. 134 speed. Yeah, it's just not usable. She is fully booked, fully mastered, but in a build that makes 0 sense. So Rhonda looks like damage build. She actually looks okay. Like okay speed, like not great, okay speed, and crit cap, crit damage. fully booked and fully mastered. So she is somebody that we can lean on as well for a damage dealer. Oh, pardon. Oh, my lord. He doesn't have a single speed stat on any of his gear. I've never seen this. No speed at all on his gear. He's in a full regen set in Immortal. I mean, if this was 200 speed, yes, we can get away with this build. He's partially booked. Oh, I hate seeing this too. Partially booked champions and basically fully mastered. Oh, man. Yeah, not the best. Mikey. Mikey's got good speed. He's quick. Zero accuracy. Zero accuracy means he can't do decrease defense. He can't stun. He can't decrease attack or leech. I mean, that's a big part of his kit, right? He needs the accuracy to land all this stuff. Otherwise, he's just kind of useless. No masteries, no books. So maybe too soon. Maybe too soon. It's not finished. Maybe it's a build that doesn't really matter. All right, what else? We got Takeover here. He's in bolster set. 1, 2, 3. He's in a bolster set, which is fine. He has decent HP, 20k HP. No accuracy. No accuracy. He does have decreased accuracy on his A1. And he does play freeze as well in his passive, which is kind of useful. But he's not fully booked. Oh, and the masteries again, killing me. I mean, Takeover is a very solid champion, but yeah, in his current state without the books, very hard to use. 5-turn cooldown on this, very, very tough. But yeah, full masteries again, seeing that is really tough. Partial masteries on her, but no books. And a build that is just horrendous. So 141 speed. Yeah, just horrendous. Molly, very good champion, but not in this build. 200 accuracy, barely enough for Dungeon 20. 159 speed, slower than your nukers, just horrendous. So fully booked and mastered out. Definitely wouldn't go War Master for Molly. She only has, you know, an A1 for a hit, single target hit. So it's not very good. In Relentless, I mean, yeah. Relentless, Snick Track, no accuracy. He can't do anything without accuracy. No speed. It's just horrendous build. No books. No masteries. I mean, that's fine. Mashal, very good champion. And looks like the build actually kind of works. 200 speed with crit cap, crit damage, and accuracy. That's a good build. And yeah, that's a good build. I'm not sure about the masteries. Masteries seem fine. Yep, seem okay. And the build seems fine. So actually, it's kind of strange. It's like some builds, like I think some of the support builds are just god awful. But the damage dealers, he's done a pretty good job. Like He-Man actually is quite solid. He-Man is actually quite solid in the only ignore defense set he has on his entire account, or at least from what I can see. Let's check out his Geomancer here. Might be a clan boss Geomancer. I mean, it's not too hard to build Geomancer, but usually you don't see them with 7k attack. Geomancer definitely does not need 7k attack, so you can definitely re-gear him. Deacon looks okay, a little bit on the low side. This might be for clan boss, so I don't want to tinker too much with clan boss teams or anything like that. Phoenix with 421 accuracy. Interesting. Okay, so the epics. Oh man, this husk. Ew, oh, this husk is just no good. No good. No good. All right, let's check out his other legendaries. These ones look generally not super useful. I mean, Alice, Rathalos are decent, but yeah, they don't need to be used necessarily. What other Legos does he have here? Eric's, like, he has a couple good ones. Lysandra, Oella. But yeah, we gotta really look at champions that are must builds to push the account. And I think everything is here. So there's nothing that he needs to 60 or anything right away. I mean, Artor can be okay. Yakaro can be okay for like hard Fire Knight and stuff like that. But I don't think this account is ready for hard Fire Knight. So we're going to be working with whatever 60s he has, so nothing is going to need to be 60, I think, most likely. He has some champions, but a lot of them need to be rebuilt. Anyways, let's take a look at this stash here, and then, yeah, we'll see what we're working with. All right, guys, so I actually took a look at this stash here, and it looks absolutely horrendous. He started off with 1,400 items, and I did a 150 item cleanse already. Most of the items on his account are not rolled up. So if you look at his account right now, you can kind of see a lot of them are not rolled up. I would say 90% of the items are not rolled up. So we can't even make any builds for this guy. We can't we can't do anything with his account. We can't make builds because he has gear that's not rolled up, and then so we're basically making builds with basically no gear. Like for example, I ran up his arbiter and then I, used the optimizer and geared it out with the fastest gear on his account, and we got to 311 speed. So 311 speed, like nowadays, I mean, people could probably reach that in like 3 months, maybe 4 months, 6 months, 3 to 6 months, right? Of gameplay, you could probably reach 300 speed arbiter. Um, it's not a very progressed account, so we're doing our best to get the most out of it. But you can clearly see, like, look at this, not a single reflex piece is rolled up, barely any cruel pieces, barely any immortal. He just did a big crafting session, like barely any of these pieces are rolled up. Like perception, you should be leaning so hard into this set. Like look at all these 6-star legendary pieces, you should be leaning so hard into that. But yeah, I can see a lot of crafting has been done, but just, basically no rolls. No rolls have been happening. And the big problem is he only has about 15 million silver, which means he can't really just willy-nilly roll up everything. Really bad situation here on the accessories as well. Barely anything rolled up, and he has barely any accessories. 400 accessories only. Going to be a struggle to find the correct accessory for certain builds. So based on the gear and accessories that he has, he probably can only support, he probably can't even support a bunch, like all these champions in terms of proper builds. So we really have to find, like, hone in on specific champions. And, champions that don't need great gear to do damage would be ideal. So I'm talking champions like Geomancer, for example. They don't need great gear to do, tons of damage, right? But when we're talking about like damage dealers like He-Man, he needs lots of, he needs great gear to do lots of damage. Somebody like Newt, he doesn't necessarily need great gear. Like he doesn't need a savage set or anything. He just needs high crit damage. This build's actually quite serviceable, but the speed is a little bit low. We'll look into that for him. But I think first things first is we will have to do some serious box work here. We're going to, do a full gear cleanse. We're going to roll up all his gear that's somewhat viable. And yeah, we'll see you guys at the end when I'm done all that. All right, this account really struggles with 6-star gear, but thank goodness he actually has a really big stash of relentless gear in 6 stars. Like he doesn't have 6-star legendary relentless gear, but he has a lot of 6-star epic gear. And thankfully, we can actually, probably make some good builds or maybe even good off pieces. So thankfully we at least have some decent relentless gear on this account. I did a couple sets already. Most of these are really bad. You can kind of see some examples here. Like I'm just keeping some of these weapons just because like they're reasonable, but they don't even have the correct substat, like the speed set with no speed. This is the fastest weapon we have. It's an 8-speed weapon, 5 stars. We're lucky to get this helm, 16 on a 6-star. Lucky to get that one. Like same thing here. It's rolled up to 16. I'm just going to leave it. He rolled these up to 16. I'm just going to leave it just because, it's silver invested and maybe it's usable. These two are his fastest shields, 10 speed. And then this one could be a potential like ore candidate if we roll it to 12, for example. But yeah, we're just doing our best and yeah, making whatever work with whatever we have. 5-star gear. I'm trying to graduate him, beyond 5-star gear, but honestly, he still needs the 5-star gear to make this account work. There's just not enough gear with proper substats. So we'll just try our best to make this work. So we'll keep working on it. Or actually, this would be a good time just to check up on what kind of gear he has as a maximum. So I've reached down to the reflex set. I just wanted to show quickly the top items. Let's say the top speed item on his entire account, not including boots, currently is this weapon here. It's a triple with 22, and then immediately he goes into the doubles. Well, sorry, that one has a glyph. So this is a triple. I just rolled this one up actually. And then we back into the doubles. We got a triple weapon here. I rolled that up today. And then down to doubles. I just rolled up this stalwart chest. Doubles. So yeah, it's, this account's pretty hurting for speed gear. So you can kind of see there's only a handful of triples, a couple of them on 5-star pieces, and the rest are just doubles. So, and we obviously can tell by his roster and his builds that his champions are not super fast or anything like that. So there's not like swimming in speed gear or anything. So we can kind of get a sense of what kind of gear this guy is still using. Obviously, we're still going to lean a little bit on the 5-star pieces. He does have some 6-star boots, which is encouraging. It is encouraging. But honestly, most of them will be 5 stars. You can kind of see here, most of these are 5-star boots. Let's just double check his equipped. Okay, so he does have some 6-star boots equipped. So that's a good sign. That's at least a good sign. So it looks like he has about a dozen 6-star speed boots, and he does have one in the speed set. So a little bit hopeful there, and he does have some ascension material. So at least a little bit of hope. But anyways, let's get back to it. We're at the reflex set right now, so we're not even quite halfway there. So we gotta keep plugging away and see if we can improve his gear stash first before we jump into some builds. All right, guys, I want to save you guys the hours of me trying to cleanse out his gearbox. But you can kind of see here, we got him down to a pretty lean and mean 645 artifacts, fully rolled up. So at least he has some gear ready to gear up some champions. Not everything is rolled up, but most of it, I would say 98% of gear is rolled up to 8 or higher. Again, we did take a quick look at the filters for speed before we did the rolling. So let's have a quick look what's happening now in terms of the gear. We did roll a couple pretty nice triples, no quads, but rolled some nice triples here, namely this righteous weapon. So it's a triple weapon in a speed set. So this is very, very huge for this account, considering that, like I said, his arbiter was 311 speed at the maximum for this account. So we did roll a couple triples here, triple speeds here, triple speed on this stone skin shield, triple speed on this perception glove, triple speed on this stone skin glove, triple speed on this chest. So some good triples here. So definitely will probably get used. I mean, even this, look at this glove. 5-star glove, but triple speed with attack percentage, crit damage on a cruel set. Like these two pieces, definitely very usable. And thank goodness for Feral gear. He did have some Feral pieces, so 6-star legendary plus Feral pieces, very nice. But yes, we did make some progress here on his account. We trimmed off, probably 700 pieces. For the most part, you can kind of have a look here at his overall silver count. We're at 13 million. So effectively, we only used about 3 million silver from when we first started. So now we actually have a box ready to gear up some champions. So I just did a quick optimizer here on his arbiter. So if we gear him out for max speed, it goes up to 317. But then he's using one of the righteous weapons, and that righteous weapon is not glyphed up. So he's already gained +6 speed, and then he gains whatever he glyphs up on this weapon. So a pretty good, 10 or so speed he's just gained just from basically just rolling up his gear and just re-gearing his arbiter for max speed. But yeah, you guys can basically tell that his arbiter is not super fast, so about 315 speed. Currently his arbiter is not even close to that. It's about 225, 230 speed. So it's not even close to that. So yeah, a lot of these builds definitely need a lot of work, but there is nothing more soul crushing and soul sucking than doing gear cleansing for a solid 2 hours. So I think we're going to have to call it for this video. Maybe we'll come back to this in another video to show you guys the results of the champion builds. But for now, I think for CrowndRoyal's account, you guys didn't see it, but the back end work was about 2 hours just to do the artifact gear cleanse. We didn't even touch the accessories, which we'll probably have to basically put in ad hoc while we are building out the champions. And keep in mind, accessories are just way too expensive to roll up. So again, at this point, we're just kind of working with what we got here. And right now we just don't have a lot. The fact that we fully rolled up, probably about 1,300 artifacts, and we still have, basically only spent about 3 million silver. It's already a pretty big accomplishment. We still have to do his artifacts, his accessories, and then we have to basically upgrade all of his champions, or update all of his champion builds so that they can handle areas like faction wars, produce some Hydra teams, and just help them generally in progress, especially the ones that we've identified that would definitely help him out in progress. So anyways, I think we'll save that for our next video. Hopefully you guys can tell that, obviously building up an account from scratch takes, obviously many hours. Ideally, you don't do this, grinding and maintenance work all in one go. Otherwise, you just go kind of crazy. That's why you kind of do it every now and then. Just keep up with the game instead of just letting the game stack up with things, and then you have to tackle it all at once, and it's a big headache. But now the account is ready to go, ready to make some builds. And yeah, we'll make some builds on the next video. We'll revisit CrowndRoyal's account and we'll see what kind of improvements we can make. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little preview of CrowndRoyal's account, and hopefully I showed you guys a little bit of my overall thought process when building this account basically over from scratch. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you guys have any advice for CrowndRoyal? Hopefully you guys enjoyed the content. Hopefully you guys found it informative. Thank you guys for watching until the end. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Would appreciate that. Once again, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.